Good afternoon, everyone. This is Stefan Cavazos with MicroKey Solutions. I would like to welcome you to our webinar this afternoon. We're going to cover some topics on Central Station, showing you the top 3 things or top 5 things you need to consider when choosing monitoring software. To get the webinar started, I want to do a couple of housekeeping items and show you how the GoToTraining interface works and functions. You should see a panel either collapsed or it may be out, depending on if you have it auto-hide with the little orange button and the items there. If you click on that item, if it is hidden, you will be able to select whether you want to do your audio via telephone or microphone and speakers, so you can select that change there. You'll see the chat window down below. It'll allow you to send chat messages to the organizers, both Rick and myself. Rick Nieves. He is an associate of MicroKeys and mine. He will be answering questions, anything that you have there. If you need to raise your hand for a question, put your hand up. One of us will get to you. We'll get an answer back. And you'll notice that everyone's microphone is muted on this as we go. And we have that to keep down the background noise. If we need to unmute for something, we will. Otherwise, we'll do our questions, and you have them along the way. Please put them in the chat window, and we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to get started with the webinar. So first of all, who are we? We are MicroKey Solutions. We are a Central Station automation software provider along with an accounting software provider. We've been in business for nearly 30 years. Next year we'll be celebrating 30 years. With our team, we bring over 200 years of combined experience to the industry, all the way from accounting to Central Stations, alarm installation, everything that you can think of there. We have over 4,000 customers in 43 countries, and we offer a complete solution to run your entire business. Just so you know who I am, my name, like I say, is Stefan Cavazos. I'm Central Station Business Development Representative with MicroKey. I've been in the industry for nearly 25 years now, all the way from doing things as support tech, Central Station Manager, Senior Product Manager for manufacturers, and also Field Applications Engineer, just so you know a little bit about me. So what do we plan to cover today? We're going to cover the top 5 things when choosing a monitoring software. We'll cover video verification, PERS monitoring and capabilities, response time, operator training time, and data conversion pains that people may run into. So first of all, what we want to do is let's cover video verification and a little bit about what that is. So video verification, you hear this term a lot with alarms and monitoring centers and everything that you do today. So what exactly is a verified alarm? Depends on who you ask in actuality. If you ask law enforcement, they're going to tell you that a verified alarm means there is a crime in process and we need to make that a priority response, and we need to go there. If you ask the security company what it is, or somebody in the alarm industry, we say it's preventing a needless dispatch for a false alarm. So both of us have similar needs and dialogue in mind there, just a little bit different perspective of, are we trying to get there, or are we just trying to prevent somebody from getting a false alarm? Benefits for the Central Station with video verification are, 1, we're able to reduce false alarms. That's a very important one across the industry because we know false alarms cause lack of dispatch, where we see a lot of that today in the authorities and the different dispatch departments, whether it's police or fire, where they're going out to alarms. We also would see if there's properly assigned correct priority for each alarm as they come in. It also allows us to increase our RMR as we're going forward, and gives you some upsell opportunities, because a lot of people, when they're looking at video verification for a site, now there's the capability of, you need cameras, you may need other different items there, or different types of products to be able to support that. Allows you to supply some additional superior services that may not be traditionally done, and also better customer service along that way. And then, as mentioned, you get to ensure that all alarms are handled as efficiently as possible to make the customers happy. Second bullet item or item that we want to cover is some PERS monitoring. Don't know how many people may be doing PERS monitoring today, or if you've thought about it. One thing that we do know is in PERS today, it's a very hot topic that you hear in the industry. You probably can't go a week by without seeing an article that talks about PERS and how it's shifting. What you'll see a lot with PERS, and everybody remembers PERS as being help, I've fallen and I can't get up. So it's that same type of an industry where we're looking at people that need to have the ability to be monitored for medical issues or anything that's in there. So it is a hot topic today. Why is it important to have PERS monitoring available to you? It's going to open some doors for you if you're not doing it. And here's some numbers that will show you. Right now, 12% of the U.S. population is over 65 years of age. So about 1 in 8 are over that. If we look worldwide, this was as in 2000, over 605 million people worldwide are over 60. So you can see there's a large population there. In 2050, that's expected to be close to 2 billion people. So that'd be quite large. And a study done by Security System News shows the PERS market is set to double by 2019. So if you can think of the numbers that are there today and what you would have the capabilities and expectations in the next several years, it's quite large. And then the last part, if you're not using it today, there's an option there to take part of a rapidly growing segment of this industry for central station monitoring to offer those types of services to people. Next thing we want to talk about is response time. So in a central station, when you're looking for software and how things are done, one of the most crucial things is response time. How well and how quickly are my operators, my dispatchers, responding to events that come in, because it saves time and it saves lives. It makes things go much smoother. If response times are slow, doesn't matter everything that the software can do. It needs to be based on the response times. The customers, the end users, the security companies, the integrators, everyone expects response times to be very quick and handled in a normal manner to deal with whatever that situation happens to be. One of the things when you're looking at response times is, what can you do to make things more efficient? Well, one of them is to automate as many of the processes that the operator is going to do as possible. Some of the things that we do when we're looking at automating processes is one, using communication module. Communication module is a way for you to take mundane tasks that people may do on a regular basis and automate that, sending those types of information items out in an email, such as if a signal comes in, somebody needs an instant notification. If you have reports that are done on a regular basis, automate those types of functions. Then an operator doesn't need to take their time doing it. Let the system handle that for you. Another way that we can automate processes for operators is action plans. We'll show a couple of details on what we mean by action plans and how that works for people in the next couple of slides. We'll have some detailed information there. And action plans is a way to make things go very well. And also operator-guided response, which the same thing. I'll show in a couple of slides what an operator-guided response does and how it helps to shorten response times and make you more efficient. That's the most important thing of response time, is being efficient. So one of the biggest things that most central stations have when they're dealing with, okay, I have my software, I have operators, training. Every time I bring a new operator on, that is my biggest item, and most times so time that is spent with a customer. And it is also, the operator is one of the most important positions that you hire. That person is the face of the company. They're the person that's interacting on the phone, dealing with the customers and the end users, and processing those alarms. So it is one of your most vital items, and it's also something you put a lot of time and a lot of financial investment in to make sure that your customers are handled in a great and fast response. So what could an 80% reduction of operator training do for you and your business? When you think about what it typically takes to train someone, what if you could train somebody in one shift? This is something that you're able to do in the MicroKey software, is you can train in one shift. So when you're looking at automation software and you want to talk to somebody about the training time, ask that question. How long is it going to take me to train my operator? Can I do it in one shift? Or am I going to need to use that industry standard of 2 weeks to 2 months to get somebody up to speed and how that works? The last part of that is I want to show this operator-guided response and how do we do one-shift training and be able to get people up to speed as an operator. Well, operator-guided response will guide an operator through the steps that they need to do. So when they get an alarm, whatever that alarm happens to be, it'll come up to them in an order as needed. So for example, the screen you see is it'll come up to them calling the phone numbers that they have available. If they have 1 or 2, it'll show those. If they have 3, as in this case, and you'll call those different numbers. It'll prompt them with what to do. If they've gone through that, or if it's the dispatch they need, it'll prompt them to take them through the dispatch, or if there's a call list, it's going to take them to that call list. So in this type of a flow, the operator doesn't need to be taught the different flow and the different direction to follow of how an alarm comes in. They will just follow the screens. The second thing that we do on MicroKey is action plans. Action plans, as you can see on the screen there, is a tree that's just what you want to do. What order do I follow this in? Think of it as a flow chart. So I've got my flow chart where I'm going to call the premises, and out of that I have different actions that I can take, and you build this tree into whatever you want. So the beautiful thing about action plans is you can change this flow and give it to an operator with a signal and without retraining them, because all they're going to do is follow it. So two ways that we reduce operator training time is the operator guided response, action plans. It makes the training literally that you could be done in one shift. Probably one of the biggest things that people talk about whenever they're looking to convert and go to a new central station software platform is data conversion. Data conversion, in all honesty, is probably often the most deterrent from changing software. Because when you think about if you have 1,000 accounts, if you have 10,000 accounts, if you have 100,000 accounts, the amount of time that it takes to convert the data and everything revolved around it is one of the biggest deterrents, because number one, it needs to be very organized and it needs to be properly done. So whenever you're looking at that, these are one of the things to consider and understand that it is going to take some work. It doesn't need to be a deterrent because there are ways to do it differently. And one of the things that we do, we have a complete in-house team that's going to guide you through every step of the way of doing that data conversion. So that data conversion will be able to take those, organize that data together, work with you to verify that everything while you're still running in your existing system, and do that. The second step of it, once we've done data conversions, is we actually put you in a sandbox test environment so that you can look at that data, look at how things are going to work to make sure it lines up to what you have today. So that gives you the ability to know that everything's coming in the proper manner. And then the final part of it is we're going to bridge our central station system to the existing central station system so that you can run both side by side, watch the data, make sure that any tweaks or any changes that need to be done along the way can be done and handled. So those will be bridged side by side so that all of that can be verified along the way. And then that team will actually then guide you and direct to when do we want to make that change, when do we want to switch over and go live. So there's a complete team there that will guide you through that. So those were the items that we wanted to kind of show you a little bit today. Different things to look at when you're looking at new central station software and what should you be doing and what should you be thinking about. We had the chat window open to see if there was any questions along the way. Currently we didn't have any. I think we just kind of wanted to do as an introductory of information and things you need to look at and think about. So if there's any questions that you have, one, you can send us an email or look us up right on our website at microkey.com. We're definitely there that you can find us. I'd like to thank you for your time of attending. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. You have a great afternoon. Thank you.